Going with king and country. Uneasy. I have no idea how this will play out. We shall see. Alright, then my choice is between basic archery, 3,000 units of gold, or the attack skill. I guess the attack skill is not to be underestimated, although getting archery for free is also quite welcome. It's quite a welcome addition. That initial boost in terms of gold can help though. As I figured out, yes, I've been over these choices numerous times. I'm not sure agonizing over... I presumably should know the answer by now. I presumably should have made up my mind by now, but I haven't. Tempted to pick the attack skill just for the hell of it, but... How much will I benefit from the archery? The rangers do deal a decent bit of damage in my experience, although they presumably will get slaughtered the first chance the AI gets of attacking them. Yes, and from that point on, my archery is going to be basically useless, nullified. Whereas the gold, of course, always has its uses. I can use it to recruit a bigger initial army and try to snowball from the... That might actually be the way to go. Fine, let's go with the gold. You have changed to a lower difficulty for the campaign. You will not be able to revert this after this point. That's not a problem, though, is it? Considering the fact that it's the final mission and the fact that I don't care. That score will be calculated based solely on the new difficulty. Yeah, so I'll get an inferior high score. Who cares? I do want to proceed indeed. This again. Lord Alberon calls you into his war room. He says, I am glad you have chosen to remain loyal to me, but this war is a terrible one for my kingdom already. The sorceress towns to the northeast have become unsure about their loyalties and will not pledge allegiance to either side. This is hard on our cities, as most of the wood in the land comes from these towns. We will need to recover those sawmills and take the towns by force. Logos, help me. All right. So this is the current situation. This is what we have on offer. Next up is the jousting arena, but I do not have enough lumber. Familiar, isn't it? What about the towns over here? Ah, yes, of course, the towns, not castles yet, because I don't have the necessary lumber. Oh dear, oh dear. Well then, at the very least I can upgrade the archery range, even though that requires, you've guessed it, lumber. Upgrade this. Upgrade the little archers. Anything else of note? That's the king. That's our guy. Hypothetically, he could try to get those archers, but I'll do that later. Let's get rid of the peasants. Yes, deliver those units to His Majesty the King. Have him upgrade them. Oh, how nice, how thoughtful. The auto split out. Alright, so he doesn't have the cavalry. He needs to visit this place, and then he can go directly south, I believe. Yeah, through here. He'll encounter the Tree of North. Actually, let's go to the gazebo first. Is there anything else I can do? No, these are towns. There's nothing that can be done over there. Need to break on through to them first. Get some archers, see the distant lands. The distant lands are not particularly appealing, yada yada, get more archers. Visit the gazebo. Get experience leadership, all pathfinding, please, even though we are on easy terrain, so I will not benefit from this in the slightest, at least at this particular point. Alright, further down the line, the chest. I don't necessarily need the gold, so let's go for the experience. For now, there are some mutant zombies. I can get them and then get at the ore mine. That seems to be the way to go. Lots of mutant zombies. I should be able to take them on. And if I can't, then my goodness, what is wrong with me? Onwards, we need bonus damage to the living dead. I have not combined the stacks, which is pathetic, but I will do so after this fight. There they go, merrily shambling, ever onwards. The only stack that was able to reach my units was the one that got severely, brutally hurt by the Rangers. Down they go, no losses. Let's actually combine the stacks, as I have previously mentioned. That'll do. Pick up some lumber as soon as I can. Can I actually do anything over here? Not quite yet, because I need the lumber to build the jousting arena. We already have basically everything else that we could possibly desire. I do want the Mage Guild at some point, but that of course requires lumber. Though presumably I should build it quickly enough to teach Alberon some magic. At least the basics of it. Alright, my archers, excellent. Now I can hop on over here, upgrade those archers to rangers, and hand them over to Alberon. That's the initial batch. The initial batch is substantial. Quite impressive indeed. Fine, let's fight the Grand... This is going to... How much of a slaughter is this going to be? Well, they are tier 3, and there is lots of them. It's not gonna be pretty, but I'm already here. I'm not gonna back out. And they don't have a hero on the side, so there's that. But there'll be some losses, so that's really handy. Down go 2 rangers. 2 more. By the end of this battle, they will all go down as far as I can tell. But I guess it's worth it. I do, after all, need to get through this. Right, so now I can block them off. Excellent. Most impressive. I was able to save those precious rangers of mine. I've lost 7 of them. 1 master swordsman. I can gain logistics and basic. Thank goodness. Gotta get a move on. Giddy up. Do I have enough lumber to get much of anything else? Yes, absolutely. I could hypothetically get the jousting arena. I get tier 5 units right here, right now. Or if I were to choose to, I could hypothetically turn one of my... I would need 10 more units of all in order to be able to convert one of these to a castle. So no, can't convert a town to a castle quite yet. So I guess I will go ahead and get the jousting arena instead during the very first week. Tier 5 units, here we come. Now let's upgrade these guys to rangers. It takes 4k gold. Recruit these guys. Upgrade the units, and of course our Lord and Savior, our Lord and Majesty over here is going to flag the old mine, because there's no one else to handle such matters, apparently. Ballistics or mysticism, ballistics seem more important. Yeah, but then again, I'll presumably take mysticism at some point, but no, let's invest in ballistics right now. Try to collect all the remaining resources, gotta catch them all. Further down the line, do I go east? I need to go east at some point. Though presumably I should clear stuff out to the west first. Yeah, why don't I go with that? It'll send me north by the Tree of Knowledge, and I'll be able to rendezvous with the Gallivant, so I'll be able to get my reinforcements. I guess that's about it. About as much as can be done at this juncture. Right, units upgraded. Place is empty. Is it a space yet? You know, I could have hypothetically... No, logistics makes sense. Logistics makes sense, absolutely. I favor the states quite a bit, but logistics do make sense. Heading north, sending Gallivant south. Anything I can do here, anything at all. Can get the marketplace, hypothetically, not worth it. None of this is worth it. I would love to be able to get the cathedral, but once again, not enough lumber. This lumber might help. Alright, finally we get to transfer all these precious units. Let's reposition them the tiniest of bits. That ought to do it. Alright. At which point we send Gallivant, well, presumably east, to reveal some more territory, whereas the king shall go to the Tree of Knowledge to get what he can get. Anything here? Yes, the arena, of course. But we cannot access it. There's an elemental in the way. What do you acquire? Oh, it's free! Leadership or pathfinding? Well, pathfinding isn't that useful on this bit of terrain. I'll take leadership on expert. I do not have the diplomacy to accept these guys, do I? And even if I did, I wouldn't be able to because I don't have space in the ranks. No matter. Onwards, the tiniest of bits. Slice and dice. Now, of course, it is quite frustrating that there's just this one guy. I could have held back and only used my rangers, but whatever. And if he dies, he dies. Look at those rangers. Plus the archery I have given them. Glorious. At this juncture, I don't need morale, I need luck. Is that going to block them off? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Down they go! No losses. Wisdom all... Wisdom! My king can become wise! I would need to build plenty of mage guilds, but this... And of course, his spell power is down in the dumps. It's literally at 1. I'm not sure it's worthwhile to give him wisdom. Though it is an intriguing possibility. Seriously, do I give him wisdom? What else am I supposed to give him? This is an intriguing opportunity. And if nothing else, I could give him wisdom so he can possibly learn something like Dimension Doll. Being able to teleport around could be quite handy. But that, of course, is a long-term plan. A very, very long-term plan. Because then I would have to... Well, first I would have to be able to... Let's get the experience off of them. I would have to be able to build the tier 1 of the Mage Guild, which already requires lumber. I don't exactly have a surplus of. And then further down the line, I would need the resources to be able to upgrade it, of course. And even if I were to do that, I wouldn't necessarily get the spells I want, so I might have to build more Mage Guilds. So step 1, I need to get him an actual bona fide spellbook. Without it, he won't be able to cast any spells. Down they go. Look at those lovely rangers of mine. Slice. And slice again. Could have considered dicing, but no. Just slicing for a second time is the way to go. Alright. They have been defeated. No losses were sustained. None taken. Do I get the silly mage guild? What else am I supposed to get? I mean, I guess this bit of lumber could hypothetically allow me to get the cathedral when? During the second week, at best. Though admittedly, I almost have enough ore to be able to upgrade these places to castles. Next week, because it's about to be next week anyway. The week of the mongoose, oh no. The map is going to be filled with mongoose. Alright. Collecting resources apparently is something the king does. Because Gallivant is over there prancing about. I could hypothetically get a third hero, but the need for such a hero is going to disappear almost instantly. Alright then, I almost have enough to actually get that first castle. And I am nowhere near the resources necessary to get a cathedral because aside from lumber, you also need crystals, which tend to be the primary impediment. Not in this particular case, but they do tend to be, even though they're not. So I guess I will just wait until tomorrow, and guess what? I'm going to upgrade one of the towns into a castle. Then I'm going to get all the dwellings over there. And then I'll do the same with the second town. At which point I'll have 3 castles pumping out high-tier units. We'll see how well that works out. I've already tried this, this is nothing new, and this is fairly obvious, isn't it? But I will try it anyway. End the turn. Go over here, get the archers, go over there, get the... Oh, the upgrade over here is free, I need to remember that. Wisdom and advanced or pathfinding, get pathfinding. You do have to be capable of navigating this place. Logistics and advanced, yes please. Right, and I do have the resources, so let's upgrade which town? Let's go with this one, let's go with Portsmouth. Upgrading it to a castle. Bada bing bada boom, I need to remember to first get the statue, which just requires all. Granted, I do not have the requisite all quite yet, which is quite a downer, but I presumably will have it soon enough. Soon enough. I guess you get a random amount of wood. Oh dear, you might just get random resources over here in these piles. In which case, that's absolutely... In which case, that's absolutely ludicrous, because you can roll high or you can roll low. If you roll high and get a lot of wood initially in this area, you get to upgrade your castles early, get advanced dwellings, etc. You can get the ball rolling. If you don't, you're somewhat doomed. Same goes for the possibly personalities of the AI being what they may turn out to be. You end up with a bunch of warriors armed to the teeth, and it's not gonna end well for you, is it? Alright, first of all, let's go to this castle and get what? The statue. We can't exactly get the statue, we can't afford a statue. But that's okay. I'll wait until I have the all that I need, which will be at the very latest 2 days from now. For now, I will get the well, which we need anyway, don't we? Bonus creatures from all the dwellings. Next up is the blacksmith, which does require merely all, which we don't have enough of. This, of course, requires the tavern, and it requires lumber. The tavern itself requires lumber. This is going to be quite annoying. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, we've been through this, haven't we? So I guess the next step might very well be to just recruit the units I can recruit, deliver them to the king. Yes, and have him deal with everything else himself. Also, Galvant could hypothetically pick up the resource piles. Nothing stopping him. I could be picking up gold, but no, I've decided to pick up experience, and I think it's the right choice. At least in these circumstances. I'll clear these units out, and then Galvant will rendezvous with the king through this passage. Not too shabby. I do have quite a decent bit of lumber, 10 units of it. It's not the worst sort of scenario. That's obviously enough to get the tavern. If I get 5 units more, I'll also be able to get the armory. Not the jousting arena, though. But I ought not to complain. Alright. Save 0-1 on easy. Hopefully they will not be needed. I am playing on easy difficulty. I should be able to manage this. If I'm not, what am I even doing? Onwards to glory. Yes, I should mostly take care of them using my precious rangers, of course. With a glorious archery. I did not take archery though, did I? I didn't take archery. At no point did I take archery. I took 3,000 units of gold. So you see, what is this? Early onset of dementia? I did not take archery. I gotta remember that. They're just that good. Archery. Come on. Figured they would go down, but they did not. Of course they did not. It would be too easy. Stab these guys, finish these guys off with the archers. Or the rangers, actually. No losses were sustained. Deal with the dwarves. Never underestimate the dwarves, no matter what. Especially battle dwarves. They're blocked in. Whatever. They may be a tier 2 unit, but they are sturdy folk. Difficult to dispatch. They really are. Despite appearances. Look at them standing up to a single tier 6 unit. Not invincible though, obviously not invincible. But mighty. No casualties were sustained, now I can get the reinforcements from Gallivant. Yes, there are certain key terms that do get tossed around significantly more often than others, aren't there? With this game, it's reinforcements. Time and time again. But that's the way things work, unfortunately. That is the... Well, it's not exactly the name of the game in the most literal sense, now is it? I still can't get the statue. Next turn, though. Next turn. And nothing else is worth getting. Not even the silly farm. Why would I build the farm? Spend 1,000 units of gold to get 8 more peasants. If you could get bushels of peasants, or if the farm made them less expensive, or something, it might be worth considering. But why? No. Silly peasants. What else is there? I'm sending Gallivant over here. Why? What exactly is he supposed to accomplish? No, visit the Tree of Knowledge instead. The level up is free. Do you want archery or luck? He'll not really be engaging in... Give him archery. Whatever. As far as the king is concerned, let's get the lumber over here. I'll be able to get dwellings all the way up to tier 4 over there at that other castle. And if I am willing to trade for a single unit of lumber, and of course eventually build up enough ore, I will be able to upgrade the other place to a castle. Pathfinding or navigation, we will not be navigating anything anytime soon. Other than the perilous rules of this game. Well, I could hypothetically, I don't know, get more defense, get more peasants. Do I want to get more peasants? Is there a point in getting more peasants? I don't think there's a point in getting more peasants. So let's not try to get more peasants, because there's no point. Alright then. Do we head on north immediately? Well, I could hypothetically clear out this area, couldn't I? Visit the fort and so on, although, you know, arguments could be made for me to clear out this area first. Decisions, and I am as indecisive as ever. I don't know. If I go over here immediately, I think it might be more important than heading southeast. There's more stuff there, just baseline more stuff. Let's go with that, shall we? And let's not forget to get the statue. That's important. I want that additional income. There's a reason we got that castle to begin with. Well, there are numerous reasons. Alright. Next up, we shall get the blacks. Did I get it late? I think I might have gotten it late. Have I made a terrible mistake? Have I made a terrible mistake? Have I? Have I completely forgotten about this and was just skipping turns? Oh dear. Dementia it is then. Let's just check. Is there anything I can possibly get at the main castle? Might as well make a boring check at the end of every single turn, so as not to miss out. What do we want to get here? Well, we want to get the blacksmith, obviously. And that's going to be about it. There's nothing else we can get. Next turn, we are going to get the tavern to get the armory. You can get nothing because it's day 7. You can get +1 defense from visiting the fort. From units at this vault? I don't know. From whoever runs this vault. Nothing we can get over at the Citadel. Well, nothing that I want to get anyway. I could hypothetically get the Mage Guild. Though that's an unnecessary expenditure as far as I'm concerned. Wake of the Raven. Glorious. Yeah, that's a wizard from Master of Magic. His domains, I believe, are sorcery and nature. There's gossip at the tavern. I do have enough resources to be able to get the armory, thank goodness. Well, in that case, I had enough resources to be able to upgrade this to a castle, aside from, of course, the necessary ore. But that's okay. I will be able to get... I'll be able to trade for more lumber, and I think that's the way to go. I'm not going to pass out on dwellings over here just because I want to, at some later point in time, upgrade this to a castle. I'm not going to wait a week or so. Lots of Archmagi, or Archmagi. Impressive, most impressive, potent, powerful. Lots, that's a horde, 25 to 49. Simple enough. Without a hero, most of these units at this juncture are really easy to take on. Unless it's a secondary hero. Ow. 6 rangers at first. 8, 7, 6, and 7 again. I'm down to 35 of them. That's what you get for attacking ranged units. I mean, I understand they are relatively easy to take on. It's not like I'm going to lose this, but damn does this hurt. They are after all tier 5. Slice! Slice again! Ow. Well, there go my crusaders! They shall crusade no more! I mean, I did have a single guy, so it's quite understandable, is it not? Well, that was horrible, wasn't it? 43 rangers lost. 43 of them! Was it worth it? I think it was, because I had to break through that anyway. I had to do it at some point, might as well do it now. Eat the frog. Charge! There's only 5 of them though, so it's not going to be much of a charge, is it? And I'm not going to be able to block... I mean, I could have hypothetically tried to protect them. But I didn't! And they've decided to ultimately amass over here and try to attack the Master Swordsman, which still makes sense. Let's try to make the tiniest token bit of effort to I won't be able to protect the Rangers, now, not now that I have repositioned them like this. And of course this spot is free now. Now the Rangers are safe, but they no longer need to be protected. Brilliant! Losses were sustained, but whatever, I broke through, that's what matters. I'm about to collect a lot of all. Now, unfortunately, I do not have enough lumber. But that's a separate concern, isn't it? Navigation or the... Navigation or Eagle Eye! Classic! Navigation... I mean, I get it, he does have wisdom in basic, and he'll possibly get a spellbook eventually. What the? It's not gonna be a point in getting Eagle Eye, is there? Well, there may be even less of a point in getting navigation. There's no water over here. Can't get anything else. I'll get the armory next turn. Just making sure, though. Just making sure. Yeah, my main castle doesn't have the tavern, even though it's necessary to get the armory, but we just got the armory. Baseline. Now, granted, if I get the armory right now, I'll have a rough time upgrading that other town to a castle. But then again, the whole point of upgrading them is to be able to get all those additional units. So I think there is still a point to doing this. I think it's still a reasonable idea. All acquired, all mine acquired. Kinetic pendant. Immune to paralysis. That can be surprisingly handy, can it not? Here's Gallivant, visiting what he needs to visit. Right, I took care of business over here from the get-go, so there's nothing left to be done. Yes, I guess the primary reason I don't actually notice these things is that I'm not paying a sufficient amount of attention. At some point it's become so automatic you don't actually even consciously observe what on earth you are doing. You just execute every single move. Yeah, that explains a lot. But then again, how many times have I gone through the motions? Even in this very mission. Quite a few, I would say. So it's hardly surprising that at some point it becomes difficult to notice I'm actually doing what I am doing. Alright, Gallivant can help collect stuff over there, at least to some extent. Yada yada yada, resources to collect. Chests. A glint of golden light catches your eye upon further investigation. A gold helmet hidden in the bush, which increases defense by 1. Fine. Do I wish to rub the lamp? Yes, I do, which means I can get 4 genies. And the lamp disappears. What do I get over here? Can't get the jousting arena. Can't get the upgrades. Actually, there's no point in getting the upgrades anyway. So that's going to be it. That's going to be it as far as Sportsman is concerned. Right, now I should save up. Get as much lumber as I possibly can get my hands on, as quickly as I can get my hands on it. And try to upgrade the final town to a castle. Getting a jousting arena would be nice, would be quite welcome. And to clear out this place, this little passage, so that I can get reinforcements from Portsmouth all the way to the Citadel. To get upgrades and such. Well, I guess there's only one man to do it, isn't there? He's going to visit the gazebo, head on through there. Now, how do I do this? Right, I'll intercept him in the gazebo. There's going to be a nice, neat little meeting at the gazebo. There we go. Transfer the units. Excellent, done. Now then, are there any any resources to be found over there? Presumably not, but might as well. And hey, if I wanted to get them over there directly, I could just teleport him through the lifts. Nothing stopping me, aside from a burning desire to explore this territory myself. Yeah, whatever. Can't really afford any more structures, don't have the lumber, whatever, in the turn. Some unicorns, and guess what? An access to a crystal mine. Access to a crystal mine, whatever. Can't pick up the units from there, I'm afraid, because they have not been upgraded. I could get a wizard or a warlock and could have them carted over. In fact, that would be reasonably wise at this juncture. Yes, it would. Because, in the end, I have a decent bit of territory. And I might as well, therefore, move these units around, since I can. I have a decent bit of territory to cover. So I need to visit all the windmills and water wheels and whatnot. I need a third hero at this point. Otherwise I'm going to be missing out on resources. And I'm going to be missing out on resources more than I'll be losing by investing in that hero one time. Stage 5, might as well visit this. Get some mercury, whatever. This is of course going to suck, because druids are ranged, tier 4 unit from the sorceress's castle. Get another turn. They did not get another turn. Whatever. still have the genies, and they are still relatively powerful. Now, of course, with that being said, I am now only left with 3 genies out of the 4 I've started out with. But if I get lucky with the genies, I could hypothetically defeat Draconia that way. Down they go. 4 rangers and 1 genie. Those are my losses. That's the tally. Still need more lumber, don't I always? Getting all those precious crystals. Right, visit the gazebo since you haven't. Sarakin over here does have the reinforcements, but we are... Once we hit the next week... Yeah, presumably I have to... Let's reveal territory over here. Is there a point, though? I can just visit the observation tower. Oh, and I guess navigation might not be completely useless. You know, with this bit of water over here, even though we can't build a boat right there. If only we had access to one, if only. Right, here's the king, revealing the territory, the not-so-distant lands. There's some artifacts over there. There is some lumber over there as well. Presumably I should break through, get those resources as quickly as I possibly can. Guess this from the chest, defeat the water... Sorry, these are... Yeah, these are water elementals. No mistake on my part. Right, visit the arena and then head through there. Instead of immediately going for the sorceresses. I think that's a relatively sane plan. Relatively. Let's get the archers from over here. Sarakin shall get into position. The king shall defeat the water elementals. Every single loss is so painful. But then again, I presumably shouldn't mind. Do I really want to risk my genies? Let's not. Do I care about my genies that much? They are just lowering the morale of my army by being a neutral unit with it. 3 genies remain. So all that I have started out with. Nice. Still have my genies at 3 hit points. No losses sustained. Diplomacy or navigation? Diplomacy. Let's go on over here and get some defense. Yeah, let's get defense. Not a lot of defense, but a bit of defense. He's now at 11 points of defense, and I appreciate him having that much defense. He even got a helm of defense. Now let's slay some unicorns. We require more lumber. Week of the rabbit, but of course. 20 archers, not that many, but nothing to sneer at. Let's visit the Heart of the Magi. Sarakin over here is going to visit the water wheel. After he does that, he is going to get reinforcements from Paulsmith. It's going to upgrade them, the whole song and dance. Should I visit the windmill with the king? No, he's got bigger fish to fry. Heart of the Magi. And we have spotted... Absolutely bloody. Oh, that's well, we have actually spotted 2 enemy heroes. This is quite intriguing. Okay, so there's Atlas over here with a few Cyclopses, and then there's Draconia over there with several bone dragons. Already. A throng of skeletons and so forth. So she's relatively mighty. Notably, over here, these are preset as far as I can tell. The Nomad's Boots of Mobility. But these are random. Now I can't help but wonder, do these stack? Now in Heroes of Might and Magic 3 you equip artifacts, you put them in particular slots. So you put the boots in the boot slot. But not in Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Which leads me to the following conclusion. I think they absolutely do stack. They don't apply some unique buff. They just give you more movement points. So if I pick both pearls up, that's going to be quite tremendous, isn't it? Oh, and by the way, the bow, the golden bow. Which means that you no longer incur any penalties for shooting over terrain. You know, like during sieges. That's quite astonishing. That's quite awesome. Alright, let's get those silly units. Everything except for the peasants, so I'm not clicking recruit all because I don't want those silly peasants. Right, and let's fight the unicorns. I obviously should be able to take them on. I know they are a tier 5 unit. Whatever. I can obviously take the unicorns on. Actually, let's hold back with the genies for once. What a nice little choke point. How many will you kill? Fine. Let's start off by slaying as many of the unicorns sneaking up on us through here. And then get at them through there. Wait it out. Down they go. One Master Swordsman down. That's acceptable. A single Master Swordsman lost, and we can reveal Distant Lands. This is what we see. The Alchemist's Tower... I have no idea what that does. I think it allows you to destroy cursed artifacts or something? Or, you know, artifacts in general. Should you choose to, I think. A magic garden, a windmill, another water wheel, quite a few places to visit. How have I not been here earlier? Well, I guess that was a mistake on my part, wasn't it? It's quite a lot over here to explore, but then again, of course, there are enemies nearby. That's something I have to take into consideration. And there are lots of ghosts. Can you actually get your diplomacy so high up that the ghosts will join you? Because if you can, whoa Nelly, would that be interesting? You would have the endless cord of wood! Now we're talking! Once again, I think the artifacts are random, but if I get that, I'm going to get incoming wood, not to mention the wood that's over here. Let's go for this! Wood! I absolutely would! Who wouldn't? Alright. What else is the... It's basically got nothing else to do over there. Might as well go ahead with the reinforcements plan. Meanwhile, the king will attack the pack of minotaurs. Meanwhile, the king will he attack the pack of minotaurs? No, he will not attack the minotaurs. Pausing to rest and light a cook fire, you pull wood out of a nearby pile of dead wood. As you keep pulling wood from the pile, you notice that it doesn't shrink. You realize to your delight that the wood is enchanted, so you take it along. In the middle of a patch of dead and dry vegetation, to your surprise, you find a healthy green four-leaf clover that gives you +1 to luck. Excellent. Give me the experience. Give me even more experience. Ah yes, and crystals, of course. We do want to eventually get the cathedral, don't we? This is reasonably nice. If only I were to trade for a bit more wood. Which I can. Actually, I don't... Well... Should I trade for a bit more wood, or do I just wait the tiniest of bits? Because then I can make better use of my resources further down the line. I think I should trade anyway. Oh, it's so far off. I don't know, getting this all the way up to a castle might just make a meaningful difference. That I'm going to be able to get quite a few tiers of units up and running relatively soon, and that can snowball. So I don't know. But yes, going here has been a brilliant decision. As it turns out. This is particularly amusing, assuming that the ultimate use was random. And that the artifact can be basically anything. The endless cord of wood is exactly what I need. Alright, upgrade the archers, leave them over here, and Gallivant can go over there to trade for as much wood as I'm going to need by the time he reaches that spot. I think that's fair. It'll take him a while to get there, but that's not a problem. Alright. Merge these little forces. That's it. Upgrade them, and soon enough deliver them to the king. Now, where should he go exactly? I think going through here wouldn't be the worst of ideas. Although... No, I've cleared this place out. Of course I did. Well, I do need to go through there. Though I'm in no particular rush. Interestingly enough. I could just gain access to the crystal mine. I am going to need those crystals soon enough to be able to get the cathedrals. So that is the... Yeah, I should absolutely get the crystal mine, obviously. And defeating the zombies is going to be a doll. I don't even need to do that. Never mind. Fine. There we go. Okay, now my income is 2 crystals every single turn. How much is the cathedral? 20 units of lumber, 20 units of crystals. I'm going to have to make a difficult choice. I think I should ultimately go with a second castle first. As awesome as tier 6 units are. Yeah, because just getting more units out of every single castle, it matters significantly more. Let's go with that. That is the wise choice. But let's check. Is there anything I can possibly do? Anything worthwhile? Anything notable at all? No, not really. I will be able to get the Mage Guild eventually, but not quite yet. Not now. Units acquired. And now I can possibly try to deliver them to the king. Although it's going to take a long while. And as I'm sending Gallivant over here to trade, there will be absolutely no one to pick up reinforcements next week. But that is once again okay. That is once again acceptable. Lots of steel golems, that is perfectly fine. And of course, I have these precious genies of mine, but ultimately they'll end up getting replaced by all those crusaders I'll build up. Eventually. Fine, let's send them into the fray. These are tier 3 units. And tier 3 units mostly focused on defense, not attack. They get lucky, double damage on both shots. And down the golems go. Zapped. Lucky again! Down. Most of them go, fair enough. I expected all of them to go down. And no loss to sustain. Diplomacy or navigation? Let's get diplomacy and visit this place. Get another artifact. Oh look, a brief stop at a hastily abandoned wizard's tower turns up a magical vial of mercury that always has a little left on the bottom. Recognizing a treasure when you see one, you cap it and slip it in your pocket. The endless vial of mercury gives me mercury every single passing turn. The creatures are swayed by my diplomacy. That is quite expensive, isn't it? 15 of them for 8,700 units of gold. Is that even worth it to any extent? It's quite a chunk of change. It's one of the few opportunities I'll ever get to actually recruit units on the map itself, but I think this becomes somewhat relevant and meaningful only once you actually have gold to throw around, which at this juncture I do not quite yet. So I think I'm going to decline. He's a Master Swordsman, that's a tier 4 unit though. Though there's just 15 of them. Though granted, I only have 26 right now, so that's a meaningful chunk. It's a meaningful portion to my... Fine, I'll accept this. What else? What else? The ore is just piling up. And the astrologers proclaimed the month of plague. All population is halved. Which is incredibly unfortunate because I did not actually recruit the units I had. So, there's that. Or rather, there isn't. Or did I? No, I think I've managed to recruit them ahead of time. So never mind. I won't be able to pick up these reinforcements, but I did pick up the last batch. And of course this affects everyone, not just me. Alright. Let's trade that ore away. $64 units of ore, that sounds decent. How about 39? That's still decent. And I'm going to end up with 30 units of lumber, which is quite appreciable. Right, let's go with this to begin with. First of all, let's upgrade this to a castle. Now then, I'm going to need quite a few things. First of all, I'm going to need the cathedral right over here. For that, I need 20 units of lumber, because I have the 20 units of crystal. And I do have the necessary gold. I don't necessarily have to trade all, it's just the cheapest thing I have to trade. I mean, not the cheapest, the most abundant, so effectively it's the cheapest expenditure on my part. Oh look, lots of unicorns, again. Fine, let's just fight them. Yes, and let's head over here, get those nomads' boots of mobility. The quicker I get to them, the further I'll be able to get every single passing turn. So yes, this ought to be my destination as far as I can tell. And now my precious little genies are blind. Actually getting those extra Master Swordsmen wasn't the worst of ideas, now was it? Look at them. Just slaying everything. Granted, that's basically just a batch of reinforcements, but that's a batch of tier 4 reinforcements, and quite powerful at that. Slay them! Tiny, tiny losses were sustained. Big whoop. Fine, let's end the... Wait, hold on. Is there anything I can get over here? Might as well check extremely meticulously every single passing turn, especially from this point on. Oh boy. I am definitely going to need to be on my toes. Agal with several Cyclopses has marched out of the castle. Here's Roxana, also with several Cyclopses. However, at this juncture... Actually, I presumably shouldn't attack right now. I don't necessarily have the death ball. I'm reasonably near it, I think. I don't think I need to necessarily pick up tier 6 units to have the death ball, amusing as that is. But rushing the AI always feels bad. It's kinda against the whole design. But then again, if it works... Alright, let's use the gems. Trade away for lumber. I have no source of gems, which is unfortunate. But that's okay, I don't need them particularly. Not unless I want to get advanced tiers of the Mage Guild, which I don't, not at this point. And further down the line, I'll be able to trade. Let's get the Cathedral right here. As far as our brand spanking new castle, we will get the archery range, which merely costs gold. You know, getting the statue is also a reasonable expenditure, but whatever. Great, we have 3 castles. Our income isn't that impressive, but we will improve that soon enough. Is there anything Gallivant can actually do? He could try to get those... No, he can't get reinforcements, can he? Oh no, he may be able to, because the month of Plague was last week? No, it was this week. Boy, time doesn't really go by, now does it? Nothing to get over here. At best, I could position him, which is kind of pointless, so he just stays there for the time being. I could head on north, but I don't think I want to. I think I want to clear out this area. No, boots. I've already mentioned this. Boots are my primary objective. I can even leave the griffins. No, let's go for the boots. Focus on the boots. But there's a pack of bone dragons in the way. An actual pack of them. And how many in a pack? 10 to 19. Okay, that is a sizable force. Fine, I'll deal with the griffins first and receive reinforcements before I tangle with the bone dragons. I know that there's no associated hero, so I should be able to break through, but I would sustain tremendous losses at this stage, wouldn't I? I am so pleased with this decision, my goodness. I am so glad I have so many Master Swordsmen. Because in relative terms, that was basically plus 50% of them. That's quite meaningful. The Griffins don't even want to bother trying to attack my Rangers, because the Rangers, from their perspective, are largely insignificant as a threat. Which is fine by me. Look at the swordsman just slaying everything. Utter annihilation. Alright, we can't get much of anything. We've already been through this. Next turn. Alright then, this castle, whatever it's called, Korakstone. In Korakstone we can get the statue, and next up is the blacksmith. How is it that I cannot get the blacksmith? It requires the well and the thatched hut. Oh, fair enough. I will get the well soon enough, I guess. But first, let's go for the statue. Then the well, then anything else. We already have the... yes, of course. I'm going to need to upgrade the citadel over here eventually. I need to have at least one place with the citadel upgraded, but that's fine. That can wait a decent bit. We also need the citadel, the cathedral at the citadel. We also need the cathedral, the baseline cathedral over here. But that requires such a tremendous amount of resources that it's not gonna happen anytime soon. A horde of champions. Wow, that is quite a mighty force. A horde is going to be between 50 and 99. I can take them on, though it's going to be quite a fight. Are these reinforcements that meaningful? Well, the rangers are particularly meaningful, aren't they? Fine, let's collect the experience first. Not tangle with them unnecessarily. Well, unnecessarily early. Now we get the well. This is going to take a while, isn't it? Oh dear, this is taking a while. I presumably should get a move on. Presumably I should move Gallivant into position soon enough. I guess I could trade away some more ore alongside additional resources for lumber. I'm going to need extra lumber no matter what. So let's trade for it as much as I can, as much as I conceivably need to. That'll do it. Alright, and now he can get on with business. The business of acquiring resources and visiting sawmills and so on. The usual business. Let's deliver the reinforcements to the king. Yes, and take into consideration the fact that neutral units do not get stats from the hero. Also, hypothetically, economic artifacts should not go on the primary hero. This, of course, has its downsides. If the secondary hero carrying them perishes, well then, they're lost. Yes, so presumably such a hero should flee. Oh! 26 out of 50... Whoa, hold on! There are 51 champions, which is relatively low. As I mentioned, this could have been between 50 and 99. 26 of them want to join me for a lot of gold. Now that is almost all the gold that I have, but that's 26 champions. That's a tier 5 unit. And I have 14 of them, so that more than doubles the... That's almost more than double the count. So that's almost plus 200%. I'm taking this offer. Look at this, I have 40 of them. 40! Thanks to diplomacy. I'm absolutely going through the pack of bone dragons. Actually, at this juncture, with this force that I'm carrying over here, I could hypothetically be able... I am absolutely able to take on Roxana and possibly other heroes. So I could hypothetically eliminate one of my foes while I'm here. I could go through this region, then head on further north and eliminate one of the factions. I think that's feasible. Mostly because of diplomacy. Fancy that. Right, we have already handled this place. Next up is the blacksmith. Next turn. Yeah, that's about it. Galavant, of course, is going to keep on doing his thing, because what else is he supposed to do? Whose thing is he supposed to do if not his? Obviously. Now, let's not send this guy too far off, because if he gets picked off, I will suffer severely. Let's reveal territory, and then attack the bone dragons. Oh, and let's not forget to get the blacksmith. Right here, right now, for additional reinforcements further down the line. I got the ball rolling, not by actually upgrading the castles and so on, but I did so by picking up units thanks to diplomacy. Fascinating. Oh, and I still haven't cleared this out, so I'm not getting additional ore from this ore mine, which is kind of silly. But then again, do I take a detour right here, right now and take the ore mine? I think I do, yes. So let's do just that. I gotta pay attention to what's going on over here. Are there any threats looming nearby? Particularly nearby? No. This region is relatively safe, at least for now. Okay, fine. Reveal this land to me. We shall go through the pack of unicorns. Let's not pursue them, that's kind of pointless. Deal with the elementals. Then, of course, are fearless, so they're not gonna flee. But thankfully, with all the champions that I have, dispatching them is not going to be particularly difficult. Also, all the master swordsmen. Look at this falls. Of course, this is playing on easy, so I shouldn't be that pleased with myself, but I still am. To get the armory, I'm going to need the tavern, and the tavern requires me to get some lumber, but it's okay. Next up, the armory, and then, lo and behold, the jousting arena. Not exactly, because I don't have the resources. I do not have the lumber quite yet. Not yet, but I could hypothetically trade for it soon enough. Okay, I think the idea is that I'm getting all of this stuff. I'm building all of this stuff up so that when I inevitably end up losing quite a few units, as I tangle with foes to the northwest, I will be able to replenish my ranks reasonably well. Get even more units. Yeah, and thus I'll be able to handle yada yada yada. I almost have enough to get another cathedral. Considering the fact that there are absolutely no additional towns to upgrade to castles, at least for me, that's presumably what I should do. And I'll be able to find more lumber over there, so absolutely. Once I get the crystals over here and the all from next turn, I will be getting a second cathedral. The vampires begin to scatter. Ow. How quaint. So what do I get here this turn? Well, I can get the armory, and then I would basically have to refuse to get the cathedral next turn. Which also makes a degree of sense, because I will not be able to... I'll have the same amount of unit recruitable, whether I get it on the first day or the 7th day of the week. All that matters is which week you get them on, and then they are just there, waiting for you to recruit them. So I think it makes more sense to actually take the armory right here, right now, and get the cathedral further down the line, since I can't get the cathedral this very turn. I might as well get it, I don't know, further down the line, say on day 7 of the next week, or whenever. The castle of the sorceresses has been taken over by green, so there's that to consider. Let's clear this out. Do I wish to engage them? Not really. Let's get luck for my next battle. I am going to need it. Ooh, more of those precious crystals. How nice, how wonderful. Right, let's get those reinforcements and then get them delivered. What can we get over here? Can't get the jousting arena because, once again, I do not have enough lumber. I need 10 million of lumber, typical. Anything else? Not really. Well, never mind then. Get 10 million of lumber, get the jousting arena. And then, of course, get even more lumber, cathedrals, so on and so forth. I should be able to manage that in a single week. I'm not sure I will, but I will try. Green is near, and so is yellow. Yes, but my course is set nonetheless. I'm going to get those boots as quickly as I possibly can. Yes, and the enemy forces aren't that overwhelmingly strong. So that gives me comfort. Alright. Bone dragons, how many of them? 8 plus 5, so that's 13. Not terrible. Could have been significantly more. Let's at least try to protect my precious little rangers. There we go. That's enough protection. Yeah, let's actually go on the defensive for once. I've lost 2 of these guys, that's okay. The rangers take care of a single stack of bone dragons by themselves. Glorious. These guys get lucky. They eliminate all the... Oh my goodness! Everything goes down, and all I've lost was a single genie and 2 champions. I also get expert logistics right here, right now. This is amazing! Damn it, can't reach anything. Never mind. And now he can't reach anything. Oh, and he's blocked. So even high morale does not matter. The elemental did a single point of damage. He tried, he really tried. And with 9 units of lumber, I have exactly 20. just what I need. Well, in that case, let's get the cathedral right here. Ha ha ha! Glorious. I got the cathedral before the jousting arena? Well, yes, I should have. Interesting. But then again, it's perfectly valid, it's perfectly reasonable, and I will keep on getting more and more of these Crusaders as time goes on. Now, well, the Paladins now, they're not Crusaders yet. I need an upgrade to the cathedral in at least one of the castles to be able to make them into Crusaders. But I will, soon enough. Still, that doesn't change the fact that I don't really need that. This is guarded by a Titan. It doesn't matter. Ow, 2 Rangers have been lost. I get a Pendant of Life, which makes my troops immune to death spells. That's quite handy. At least it might be. Alright, I think I'm in great shape. And I'll continue from this point on. But for now, thanks for watching, and you will see me elsewhere.